Welcome back. We are still discussing brain drain, exodus of Nigerians for greener pastures. Let's take me to another question. Mention more of the causes of brain drain in Nigeria. We have mentioned some of them.
Well, we have mentioned some of them. Government policies, industrial disharmony. Then when you look at relationship between in the workplace relationship, you see that silent conflict. Yes, it may not be open to everyone, but you say that you are working, but you are struggling with issues, workplace issues that will bother on your own promotion. Sometimes when you work for government, it takes time to get promoted. And you say that I've been working here for so long, no promotion. And when you are not promoted, your salary will stagnate.
Yes.
You know, so things like that will cause, and then you see that some people, some bosses, although there have been situations where the professionals have clamored that doctors are not good managers. I've interviewed some doctors who own hospitals. What they say is that I don't know the business of medicine, but I know only the practice of medicine. So for me to build an hospital and sustain it, I have to have managers. Okay. So by having doctors managing hospitals, you see so many lapses. Those lapses accommodate and encourage laziness. See how patients, you go to a government hospital, you see how patients are treated. You know, the nurses, everybody is lackadaisical. Perhaps everybody is tired because they work on a marathon basis.
No more job satisfaction.
So things like that, you just get to a point, you see, and everywhere, we are only talking about the local factors. Abroad, not until recently, in April last month, the UK stopped recruiting. They call it direct recruitment. Direct, perhaps there will be indirect. You know, that they won't recruit Nigerian networkers directly again. But before then, you have a situation whereby UK was encouraging, giving free access. If you are a medical doctor, if you are a nurse, just come.
Yeah.
You apply, they give you. In fact, I have a friend whose wife was a physiotherapist. The wife was recruited from here. Everything was given to her and she just moved. So situations like that, we entice. It takes someone that is not just patriotism to remain in Nigeria in the face of such free offer.
Exactly.
That come and go to the UK. If UK embassy opens its doors now, many Nigerians want to go today, even with no preparation.
Including some of the audience here.
And of course, they want to go today. So it takes more than patriotism to say, let me stay. Things are not working, let us make it work. So the foreign countries have made it easy for Nigerian professionals to move. And if you also look at our educational sector, we're only talking about health. Educational sector, you see that they even come here to offer admission. But those things are not free. It takes money. And when they come, they put some things in place that will entice Nigerians. And you see them selling their family houses, landed properties, just to go. However, until you are in that field, before you know that, perhaps in medical sciences, all other disciplines, law, mass comm, and all of that, there is no difference. In fact, you get it better here because the interaction between you and lecturers, if you have questions, you can, and like we all are raised to be our brother's keeper. There is anything that will happen now, you approach a lecturer that please, I have this, okay, and he or she will show understanding. But you can't get that. But they will come here, they have different tools they've put together. Part of it is rating of universities. I consider that as an abnormality.
Of course.
You are not rating universities based on curriculum, based on the product. You say their presence on the internet is how you are rating them, and say one is number one in Nigeria. What's the number? That is. They put those things in place to discredit our own and pave way
for theirs
to thrive.
And so now people will
see
start
how much
machine.
we are making for them. We are using our naira to chase their own currency.
Can you imagine?
The currency we don't have control over, but we are selling what we shouldn't be selling just to move. And then you see that when you return, the person you left is not doing badly too.
Yes.
You see that he's not really doing badly. Somehow he or she will find the route to where he or she can better the life. So the factors are both local and international. So I hope some of them have been touched.
Okay, thank you so much. Like, yeah, I have mass unemployment, mass poverty, lack of quality education, political crisis, religion and communal crisis, poor salaries, poor working conditions, and so many other. These are one of the reasons or the causes why they really want to leave Nigeria to get a better, future and all that. But our question I want to throw now before we take a break now is, what is our government doing concerning this?
Well, no, everything is not government. Government has its own role.
Yes, I know.
The society itself has its own role. Let me cite one example. If you go to Ikoyi, there is a public school in Ikoyi, close to Osborne. If you go close opposite Eko Hotel in VI, that eyebrow area, there is a public school there. There is a limit to how far you can live from where you teach. But those who are selling the so-called Omonile and Co., those who are selling the original sellers of those lands, they didn't think that they would need hospitals. If you go to Bauda, Magodo, nobody, even you, they won't think that if I have a duplex, all security and all, I will employ security, I will employ cook, they will have children, they will need hospital. If I can travel for medical attention, of course I can't take my cook, I can't take my gardener, so I need schools for people like that. In Ikoyi, they have people, they have cook, but nobody thinks about what would the children of these people do. Yet we should be thinking about them. We have schools in Ikoyi. That means a teacher in those schools should live around even the VI that we are talking about in Lekki. At worst, you can't even afford Surulere because Surulere is far. To join Tebilan Bridge and all, you will be late for your lessons. However, how many teachers can afford to live in VI? Yet they are to teach in the
those
schools, in those eyebrow areas. They live in Mowe. That is what
they can afford. They can afford
them. So society itself must redirect its own priority. Perhaps it is late now for Lagos because the lands have been sold. There is no way government can. So government has its own role by ensuring that yes, salaries, living, what we call living wages are paid to people that are working directly for them. Yes, ensure that industrial harmony in their own workplace, it is their rights, and then ensure that there is accountability, that people that are put in positions of authorities in those places perform as expected. All those are government's priority that government must do. You must encourage welfare programs. You must have them. Our military, who is thinking? A policeman approached me 2 years ago that his daughter was planning to write JAMB. She had not written JAMB at that time. Well, that policeman, I really felt bad for him. He said, please, do you know anybody? I don't know anybody. And I don't have money to send my daughter to a private school. Now, what will it cost government to say, if you are a police officer from this level to this level, your children will go to school free. What does government lose by doing that?
That's why I asked you, what is the role of government in all this?
The military, if you are from here to here, enter any hospital, quote your staff number, staff ID, get treatment. Your mother, your father, your children, your relatives.
Yes.
Give them to say you can accommodate one person, 8 people. Fine. What will government lose? They will not be going to hospital every day. 10 years, one of them will not visit hospital.
It's possible.
So, but let that welfare program be in place. So things like that, if a doctor knows that I don't have to spend or take my child to Grange or all those top range schools to get quality education for my children, perhaps the level of thinking of exodus will reduce drastically.
Exactly.
You know, so government has a role to play, in fact, big role to play. Society itself must also play its own part.
Exactly. All right, thank you so much. We'll go for a break now. Vivid View.
Say and do it.